I am indeed taking a break from Warhammer 40,000. It's not one reason why I'm doing this. There's a couple of reasons which I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm actually planning to split this video into two parts. The first part is me talking why I'm taking a break, and the second part is talking about the future of 40k and what I hope it achieves and how it can basically inspire me to come back to the setting, or what I'd like for it to have to get me back into the setting. So let's jump in and let's get talking. First things first, I just want to make this clear. I am a huge fan of Warhammer 40,000. Just because I've gone off the physical game, actually playing rolling dice, doesn't mean I've lost my enjoyment of painting, collecting models, the lore, everything like that. I love these little plastic gene-enhanced Supermen. I absolutely love him. If Games Workshop were to post an article tomorrow talking about Space Marines, showing off new Space Marines for Warhammer 40,000, I'd be all over it because I absolutely love it. Same with the lore. I absolutely love the lore, love reading the books, everything about that Space Marines, all the awesome stuff. So just because I'm not playing the game doesn't mean I fell out of love with the actual product itself. Secondly, I am a casual player, right? I'm not a tournament player. I am going to be talking about the rules in this video, and I'm also going to be talking about the tournament scene. That doesn't mean I'm talking about you. Please don't take it personally. Of course, you can disagree with some of the things I'm going to say, but don't think I'm like singling you out or anything like that. That is not my intention at all. So the main point of me playing tabletop games is to have fun. That is where I'm at. Call me old-fashioned, call me old-timer. When I throw dice, I don't do it to win. I don't do it to become the king of the battlefield. I do it more as a social experience. I sit there, I speak to my friends, we talk about our life, we throw some sixes, and we explode some models. That's what it's all about for me. And what I've been experiencing lately with 9th edition is that the fun's not there anymore. It's more like a mathematical experience, and I'm more or less concentrating on the game and everything that's going on in the game rather than actually enjoying the game itself. There's so many things to actually follow in this game. When you had the secondaries, the rules themselves being spread over like 10 different books. I know I'm exaggerating, but to play certain armies, you need different books, and it's all spread about. And of course, you can have cheat sheets and stuff like that. But just for someone who's casual like that, who just wants to open one rule book, it was like scratching my head sometimes, thinking, all right, I need rules from that side, and I need rules from that side. I need to get this book and that book. It just become really a frustrating experience for me as a gamer. And when I'm looking at 9th edition right now, I'm looking at it like it's in the land of limbo, because I know that 10th edition is coming out next year. We've got the Votan Codex, we've got the Imperial Guard Codex, and then we have the World Eater Codex. 3 more codexes to come, which are all going to be coming by the end and start of next year. And then it's just going to be filler. It's going to be basically Psychic Awakening 2, Electric Boogaloo, building up to that 10th edition. And when I'm looking back now on the Psychic Awakening, I'm looking at it like it was just filler. I didn't enjoy the rules of the Psychic Awakening stuff. I enjoyed some of the lore, don't get me wrong. I thought that some of the lore was really, really cool. Again, the lore is a whole different separate part of the hobby for me. I did enjoy that, but in terms of rules, it was just filler for Games Workshop, just to get us over the line, just to get us to this edition that we're in now, and this is going to be happening again. We're just getting over the line to get us to the next edition, and from what I'm hearing, everything's going to be reset anyway. So I'm thinking, what the hell's the point in playing when I know within the next 6 to 12 months, everything's going to be reset? And I think this is why I've been attracted to the Horus Heresy lately, because that is a new edition, and I know deep down that nothing in that game set is going to change. It's brand new. I'm sure when we get to, a couple of years in, maybe 3 years in of the Horus Heresy, I'll be having this same conversation, saying, I've turned away from the Horus Heresy because I know there's a new edition coming, and maybe I'm looking back at 40k. Maybe I'm like an absolute fanboy of 10th edition. I think the rules in this edition have been a really big turn-off for me as well. Firstly, let's talk about the bloat. There is a hell of a lot of bloat in 9th edition. When you have to take 2 or 3 books to play just one army, that is a big problem for me. I have no idea why Games Workshop has this or does this. Well, I know why it does it. It's money. So it's always down to money. Money is the root of all evil, as they say. But I think in this day and age, when you have a digital service, Games Workshop, some of this stuff or all of this stuff should be given to us free. on a digital service. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I think since they have that platform now, I think they could charge it on the Warhammer Plus. Warhammer Plus, okay, everything's free over on Warhammer Plus. £5 a month. There we go. I'd sign up for Warhammer Plus in a drop of a heartbeat if they offered a service like that. Secondly, the rules themselves, I think that this edition has been one of the most broken editions. But I've played, again, I'm judging from basically 7th, 8th, and 9th. I was playing a little bit in 7th. I was all in 8th, and this is where I am in 9th now. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this video have been playing since like 2nd edition. Like, you know nothing, Valrak. I was there during the days of 2nd and 3rd. But when I look at this edition and I look at the armies and I look in like how broken some of the armies have been, it's just not been a fun experience. Like, I've been playing against some of the armies and it's over by turn 2, turn 3. And again, going back to what I was saying before, as someone who's more of a casual gamer, a social gamer, I want to enjoy the game. I want to sit there speaking to players and having a laugh and rolling dice. And when it's over within 2 turns, like, okay, now what do we do? It's like, I guess we leave and we go home and we get some food or something like that, where, you know, I don't want to do that. I want to spend the full day rolling dice. Yes, we can restart the game, but it's always going to have the same conclusion where the game's over within a couple of turns. And again, going back to the Horus Heresy, you got to hear this a lot, by the way, in this video. This is why I'm enjoying it so much, because with the Horus Heresy, you're actually playing to, like, the end of the game, you know, turn 4, turn 5 and stuff like that, because those games last longer. Those games are more narrative in terms of the game you're playing. Like, there's kind of a story that fits the Horus Heresy board game, whereas in 40k, I find it more of maths hammer. Like, you've got secondaries. I'm like, how many points have I got to do this secondary objective? Okay, there's this to do, there's that to do. It's like, with 40k, you have to pre-plan your games to know what you're doing, whereas in the Horus Heresy, it's basically like cowabunga it is. I'll set these guys up here, I'll roll some dice, and hopefully stuff explodes and things die. I will add that since they've brought back in Tempest of War, I've really been enjoying that. I think that is the best game mode to play 9th edition in. Doing the secondaries and stuff is literally not for me. From what I was told, that's more of a tournament mechanic. Maybe that's why I hate it so much, because I am not a tournament player. Now, going back to the subject of bloat, I want to talk about stratagems. I like stratagems. I like the idea of stratagems, but this is a key example of the bloat in the game. There's so many stratagems. As a Space Marine player, there is a lot of stratagems. You have like the stratagems in the main Space Marine book, then you have your chapter specific stratagems as well. And let's be honest, you're only using 2, 3, maybe 4 of those stratagems all the time. The rest, as an Imperial Fist, right, the only one I'm really using is like Bolter Drill and stuff like that. That is it. That is a start. And then, yeah, there's some like maybe 2 or 3 other ones in there which are kind of good, but that's it. The rest I don't even know. I don't even care about. And I think like this is where Games Workshop need to look at the rules now and start to slim it down, where if we have 10th edition, and we'll get to talk about 10th edition in a second, then maybe you have like a core of stratagems that every army could use. Maybe it's 2 or 3 where every army can use, and then when you get your codex, maybe there's another 2 or 3 that add to that. So altogether, you have like 6 stratagems to play with in the next edition, rather than like 2 pages worth, which you just never got to use. And this then gets us into the 10th edition subject of, you know, what it will take for me to come back, or what I'd like to see, really. I'm always going to buy new models for 10th edition. I am going to play 10th edition no matter how bad it is, how good it is. I am going to give it a go. But this is what I'd like to see in the 10th edition game. And I'm going to start with something that's going to be very, very controversial. I think we should have separate rules for the casual player, like me, and the tournament player. Maybe like the person who's listening to this video now. What does he mean? How dare he say this? Right, this is my problem with the tournament scene. And again, I'm not trying to call out anyone on this, but this is just my problem. When it comes to tournament scenes, you are in it to win it, right? You want to be the best. You know, you want to get all your Pokemon badges. I completely get that. That's what it's all about. It's about being the best. And I salute you. I wish you the best of luck on that journey to be the best Pokemon trainer there has ever been, okay? I really, really do. There's no like me giving a dig at you guys, you tournament players. I really want you to succeed. I want you to be amazing. But what we find at the tournament scenes is that there's certain armies that are broken, right? There's certain units that get broken. For me, Mr. Casual, let me try and explain this. I have a tank, right? I have a nice tank. It's a cool tank. It works into my armor. I put it in my armor. It's quite strong in my armor, but I only bring one of them because, you know, I am not an absolute bastard. And then in the tournament scene, there's a chap who also likes these tanks, but he brings 3 of these tanks. And these tanks absolutely annihilate everything because he's using the tank to its maximum effect. He's bringing as many as they can, and they're clearing the board because that's what tournaments do, right? You want to kill, you want to damage, you want to wipe your opponent out as fast as possible. But then what happens is that tank then gets a nerf, and it affects me, Mr. Casual, who's only bringing one of them. That tank that I love is no longer effective, and you, the chap who was bringing 3 of them, has basically moved on to the next thing, which is powerful and killing everything, and I'm left here like, wait, hey, what the hell? What have I done? You know, this is not fair. So this is why I've been saying to people, what if they did 2 rule sets where they had 2 sets of rules for the game, one for tournament players and one for the casual players, where if something was broken, aka this tank, then it gets changed in the tournament book rather than the normal book. And I know what people are going to be saying, Valrak, that seems way too much work for Games Workshop. They have trouble as it is with the rules. Well, guess what, right? Games Workshop has just posted a profit of like £55 million. Hire 3 other rule writers, okay? That's it. Hire a team of more rules writers. It's not like they're losing money on this, okay? It's one of the main things that sell their products. If you make better rules, more people will play the bloody game. As I've just mentioned, the bloat is a massive issue. I want the game to be more slimline. I want it to just go back to the days of the greatness. I'm just going to say it. I am going to say it, of 8th edition. I absolutely loved 8th edition. Maybe it was just me. I know there's a lot of people out there that love 8th edition. I know there's people out there that dislike 8th edition. But for me, I thought 8th edition was the height of Warhammer 40,000 gaming. Of course, 8th edition had its own problems, but I don't think it's had the problems that 9th edition has had. And I think if we was to go back to those days, it could be more fun. It could be, more attractive to getting people back on the tabletop. Now, playing the Horus Heresy, one thing I absolutely love from that game is reactions. Now, apparently, reactions were stolen from AOS. I don't know AOS. I've never played AOS. I actually always dog on AOS, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. I think AOS have the most fantastic fantasy models in the world. Apart from the Cow Elves, those give me nightmares. The lore is just something that I'm not attracted to in AOS, and if I can't follow the lore, if I'm not attracted to the lore, then I don't really care about your game. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But yeah, when you have reactions, I think that's a big win for the Horus Heresy. I love doing reactions, and I think 40k could benefit from some type of a reaction system. Maybe reactions could could replace the stratagems. Again, we've talked about stratagems, streamlining that a little bit down. Would you prefer to have something like reactions, or would you prefer to something like stratagems in 40k? That is something I would like to get your feedback from in the comment section down below. And just before the end of the video, I just want to make this point. I should have said it at the start because I know someone's going to bring it up, because they always do bring it up. Well, Valrak, if you're a casual player, why don't you play Crusade? Crusade and casual play are completely 2 different aspects of playing. Crusade is more like a D&D type of game where you're leveling up your characters, stuffs get like better armor and stuff. Casual play is basically walking into a shop, putting down one book, opening that one book, throwing some dice, having a laugh, having a drink, and then going home. That's it. That for me, that's casual play, right? Crusade is completely different from casual play. Anyway, that's enough waffling from me. A TLDR. The game's not fun. I'm walking away until it's more fun. There we go. Maybe I should have said that and just ended the video after that. But yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on this. If you're enjoying 9th edition, tell me. You know, I'm not going to like burn you at the stake or anything. I'd like to hear from people who enjoy 9th edition and tell me why you're enjoying it. If you're in the same boat as me, have you found another game to play? Are you just collecting the models just to collect them? You know, reading the lore just to read the lore? You know, put it down below and we can have a nice little talk down there, as we always do. See you now. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching and have a great day. See ya and bye-bye.